If you look at the course of the last few months, inflation, supply chain dynamics, problems in the supply chain caused by the confrontation in Ukraine have clearly been an issue. And inflation is clearly a major topic for all our clients. But as we survey our clients week to week or periodically, the key things they've been worried about over the past few years still remain important. And this is where ESG is interesting, because ESG is not just something that's here in 2021 or 2020. It's here to stay, with long-term objectives around net zero scoping out to 2030, 2040, 2050. This is a through the cycle initiative. And if anything, the events of the last few months have only served to heighten the importance of diversity of energy sources, diversity of supply, and security of food and energy. So I don't think the topic is any less important in 2022 than it was in 2021. And I think we've been able to harness that great momentum we had in Glasgow at the back end of 2021 at COP26 and really take the momentum through to this year.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that, because even out of the meetings in NATO this week, we've been hearing about the importance of focusing still on climate change. And also you hear it from the ECB from time to time as well. The central bankers haven't taken their eyes off the messages we got from Glasgow. That being said, though, we can't take our attention from the way that there is huge money to be made out there in the energy markets at the moment. It's one of the best performing sectors, commodities. And obviously these energies and utilities companies, it's a mixed bag, but profiting, some of them very, very heavily. So could you say that investment banks such as yours really are still applying these ESG type principles to investing when there is just so much money to be made in these old style fossil fuels right now?
Absolutely. We have ESG principles baked into our operating memoranda and our basically everyday work. We're no less focused on it now than we were last year. Let's remember, there are also incredible opportunities in renewables, in the process of transition with existing companies. Every large oil company has a very ambitious transition plan, and the financial sector is there to help in that as well. Basically, we need to take the great progress that's been made up till now and take some of that R&D and those investment dollars and invest them in nascent and new technologies.
That in mind, just want to ask you quickly regards the windfall tax we had in the UK. Critics of that said that it stopped those companies being able to reinvest those pounds rather than dollars back into things like the transition to renewables. But of course, the average consumer needs help with their energy bills right now. Do you think the government walked the right line?
There's both a public and a private role to play here. So whether it's government tax dollars fueling transition or private sector dollars investing in transition, everyone has a role to play. So, basically, whether or not one-off taxes are the way to achieve that is not mine to say. But basically, there's a multifaceted role for everyone to play here, energy companies and governments alike.